Well, tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of Columbine, what was at the time the deadliest school shooting in U.S. history. What has happened since then? What do we need to do to keep kids safe? Monica Robbins, you broke this story 20 years ago right here on WKYC.
Yeah, some would say Columbine set the blueprint for a generation of attacks. Less than an hour after the first shots were fired, the attack had become a media event. I was the reporter who broke into Channel 3's programming to explain what was happening in Colorado. 20 years later, I've covered two school shootings here in Northeast Ohio, one right across the street from our building. So what has changed?
I've interviewed school safety expert Ken Trump about these issues since 1994. He's the one who advises school administrators of ways to keep students and staff safe. He's often called as a witness to testify. What has he seen change?
In the 20 years since Columbine, a lot of the best practices that were established for safe schools still apply today from way back in the Columbine era. The problem is today we have new challenges.
Social media, digital threats, cyberbullying, and other safety challenges have prompted new technologies, including artificial intelligence. Bark is a company that uses AI and machine learning to analyze student activity on school-issued devices, looking for warning signs and flagging students that may harm themselves or others. Those alerts are sent to parents and school officials.
What are the parameters that you set? What words do you use? Are you going to also include staff? Are you crossing a line into civil liberties and privacy issues? And how would you actually do something once you got that?
While many schools have fortified their security with cameras and metal detectors, he says most of the recent school shootings were the result of human failure.
It's the people beyond the cameras that either make errors in procedures, in communications, in missing warning signs, and that's where they slip through the cracks.
The good news, schools are much better today at picking up warning signs, and the see something, say something message has prevented many tragedies.
Plots, weapons, other threats that come into a school, we find out about those not from a metal detector, but from people who come forward.
Now, Ken Trump thinks the answer is better relationships and mental health counseling for at-risk kids. Also, see something, say something needs to include do something, and people need to be trained on what it is they can do. Now, Bark offers its service for free to schools, and it currently covers about 2.5 million students. There are occasional false positives with it, and it doesn't monitor personal devices, just those that belong to the school, Betsy.
Thanks, Monica.
Mm-hmm.